The entity is important. Understanding deductions, tax implications, protecting yourself. Now, aside from that creation and aside from the focus of what that business is, whatever your passion is or whatever it is that you're doing that's either going to replace an existing income, supplement an existing income, or you just want to start something new, there's kind of this bubble of these other things that
there's lots of other things
have to keep in mind, right? So just to go through some of that, it's like back-end work, admin work, but it is necessary to make sure that things are running smoothly in the business.
Absolutely.
So give me some of those kinds of things that, not necessarily that you like to do, but they're necessities.
Well, you've got to have product fulfillment. You can't just have a job, whether it's a physical product or in today's world, a digital product. You actually have to deliver something. You have to process payments, keep track of those payments. You're not going to make 100% of your customers happy, even though that's the goal. You're going to have to understand what is your refund policy? How do you return money to people? Do you want the product back if you return the money?
So really, you have to put some guidelines in place, a little bit around the structure that is the back end, if you want to call it kind of a back end. So you have to have some kind of bookkeeping ability, either by using a tool like QuickBooks or equivalent Excel spreadsheets if it's a simpler type business, or actually hiring a bookkeeper or a CPA, along with understanding the bank account, where the money's coming in, where the money's going out, whatever product you have, how do you create it, how do you ship it if it's necessary to ship, or delivery method.
If you're expanding and you're not doing all this yourself, when do I hire employees? What are all the guidelines for hiring, keeping employees, which is probably another 10 episodes worth of running a business.
Sure, I mean, that's very specific.
You've got human resources, you've got state and local requirements, you've got ADA compliance issues. How do people with disabilities gain access access? If you have an office that they need to come to, do you allow them to work from their own home? Whether they're...
Yeah, so access if you're going to hire employees, when to hire employees, how to understand what employees to hire and when, how many hours. Are they actually an employee or are they a contractor? You have all those considerations to think about. Or are you doing it all on your own? I mean, that is also what a lot of people do, at least to start out. And then as they have income coming in and they can afford to employ somebody, whether that is an actual employee of the company or whether it's a contractor that you have as needed.
But if you're doing it all on your own and you're working out of your home office, do you allow the public to know where you're at? Do you allow customers to come into your home?
So you have to also take into consideration maybe, do you want a location, an established location for your business? Is your business online strictly? Or do you want them to actually come to your home? We did have a friend who was a fitness instructor, I think a yoga instructor, and she actually had a little studio that was in her own home. And so she did have actual people. She vetted the customers and clientele, of course, for safety reasons, but she did have a business in her home, and a portion of her home became her office, if you will.
We've also lived in places where we had neighbors that ran a home-based business, and they had more than one vehicle parked at their home. And local regulations may or may not allow you to have
vehicles
at your residence, if you live in an apartment complex or an HOA, you
Right, there
not
might be
able to-
restrictions.
there may be restrictions on
Yeah.
parking those
Yeah.
vehicles. So now you've got your catering business, you've got your trucks, you've done the wrap on the vehicles, everything looks beautiful. But where are you going to park those vehicles if you're HOA or your apartment complex?
Yeah, so buying additional inventory, whether that's delivery
The
vehicles
inventory, great.
or
Yeah.
um,
Where are you going to put the inventory? In the spare bedroom?
right? So things to consider. Just keeping those things in mind, depending on what your business is. Um, it is important to write things down to really see the big picture of what does this entail. So if you, in some cases, if it's a matter of making sure money's coming in, money's going out, there are lots of tools online that you can do if you're trying to do it on your own. But as you expand, it probably is important to shop around a little bit, see who you're comfortable with, but really have someone that can help with the inventory, the banking, the managing of receipts, and understanding what those receipts need to be tracked for, whether it's what you're spending, whether it's payment receipts, or is it for tax purposes, or is it just for your own tracking, so you know what expenses you have in your business or expenses that you are spending on, so that you can properly manage that budget as you do your reviews every quarter or twice a year, depending on how active your business is.
And something as simple, when we first started, something as simple as a phone number. Are you using your personal number for your business number?
Right.
And do you answer 24/7? Because you don't know if it's a customer calling or a
scam call,
a personal
or
business call.
Right.
So there's just thousands of things to consider when you're starting a business, and we've been doing our small business for 10 plus years, and there's still things that we run into as the environment changes, as the culture changes, as business changes, and we have to adapt and update, or we potentially lose customers or don't have the ability to acquire customers because we haven't kept up with the change in the environment.
Yeah, no, good point. And so really we just wanted to talk about making sure, for those that are looking to start a business, or they may have already started a business and now they maybe are a little bit feeling like they're drowning or underwater, because they have all these other things that they have to do to have a business outside of just focusing on the delivery of that business, whatever that particular thing is that you're doing. So please keep that in mind. Starting a business is exciting, thrilling, scary, all of those emotions around it. But there are practical things that you have to consider if you want that business to be sustainable and successful, and something that will grow as you grow, and allow you to stay on track and stay focused on the piece of it that you like, making sure that all the other background things are being addressed and taken care of.
I think probably, to keep it short and sweet, is have people around you that you trust that know things that you may not know and are comfortable discussing those things that you don't know, because no one person is going to know everything about it.
Right.
Yeah. So have a set of trusted people around you that are willing to help you, either free or paid.
Yeah. And people that can be honest with you.
Honest people around you. Don't put dishonest.
Sometimes you don't want to hear it, but you need to hear it. Sometimes you really want somebody who's going to be honest, and if they see something that might be taking your business off track, that they're going to step in and say, hey, take a look at this or consider that, to make sure that you go in the direction that you want to go in.